Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Wednesday, the 9th day of September. So would that make it 9/9?
I guess it would.
It is. National Teddy Bear Day. National Care Bear Share Your Care Day. I had to say that slow. And National Wiener Schnitzel Day. I thought Wiener Schnitzel was one word for some reason, but it is two words.
Huh.
I guess that makes sense because a wiener is one thing and a schnitzel is another. So,
yes, it is.
But I've always heard it said like Wiener Schnitzel, like it was one big long word. I don't know why I thought that, but clearly I was wrong.
Clearly you were wrong.
Again. I got a guest today. He's a super funny dude. His name is JoeList. And you've probably, if you ever watch stand-up comedy anywhere, you've probably seen him because he's been in a lot of things as far as like different comedy specials and stuff. Funny guy. I'm excited to chat with him. He's got a new comedy special out. We'll chat about that in just a bit.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A new study found that New Guinea singing dogs are not extinct. Scientists thought they were. The dog basically is a dingo that makes like a howling sound.
Okay.
But it's called a New Guinea singing dog. They don't really sing, they howl.
Right.
But for many years, they thought those things were gonski, like they don't exist no more. But then somebody heard one singing. They're like, wait a minute. So they're just really good at playing hide and seek.
Apparently.
Yeah,
I've never heard of one at all.
Well, now you have. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. Police in New Mexico have a man in custody. He tried to burn down a Walmart.
Okay.
I've never really heard of such a thing. But Devin Schlegel of Eagle Butte poured lighter fluid all around a store. Then he crashed through the front doors in his vehicle. 2 employees contacted the police. They did not come into contact with Schlegel. He's being held in jail. He's facing several felony charges from arson to burglary to property damage. He has a criminal history.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's been arrested for driving while intoxicated, battery on a police officer, arrested on 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on somebody that he lived with. City spokesperson said nobody was hurt during this incident, and the store has since reopened. So that's good. I'm glad to hear that everything is okay. I don't know what would make somebody decide.
He must have been extremely upset about something.
Don't know. Or under the influence, because that is what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. The unscripted reunion special celebrating the 30th anniversary of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is going to be recording tomorrow. What is
unscripted, huh?
It's September 10th is exactly 3 decades to the day of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's premiere on NBC. It's going to feature Will Smith, Titania Ali, who we've had on this program.
Sounds like pretty much everybody except for Uncle...
Well,
because he's passed away.
Yeah, and then Karen Parsons, we've not had. Joseph Marcel, we've had on the program. Daphne Maxwell Reed, Alfonso, we haven't had Alfonso.
We haven't, but I love him. I think he's fantastic.
As well as a recurring role from DJ Jazzy Jeff. He's going to be on the program too. It's going to be on HBO Max sometime near Thanksgiving. So there we go. Ran for 148 episodes over 6 seasons. And there's a new thing called deep fakes, and I guess they're using that in movies now. Well, Solo, a Star Wars story, the actor who was portraying the Harrison Ford character, he did a really good job, but they also used deep fakes to make people really think, wow, that guy looks a lot like Harrison Ford. Well, a lot of that was actually digital. So
Right. They're extremely disturbing. Have you ever watched any of those?
Oh, yeah. And we had an interview with a guy who has written a book about how that could destroy politics.
Oh, absolutely, because you can make anybody say anything.
Crazy stuff. That is Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. I have several big stories here that I haven't had a chance to squeeze in anywhere else, so here they are. Maybe you kick off your shoes at home because you don't want to track in dirt on the carpets, right? But if you regularly take them off, mainly because you're worried about harmful bacteria from the outside getting inside, you can probably relax. Those concerns are overblown, according to experts. They say pressing health risks are overlooked. A professor in microbiology at the University of Arizona studied how many and which kinds of bacteria linger on the bottom of shoes. And the study indicated bacteria can be tracked by shoes over long distances into your home or personal space. But in the hierarchy of potential hazards in your home, this is like way on the bottom of the list.
Right.
So it says if there's somebody in the home that is sick, that could maybe be. But if there are frogs or turtles or snakes nearby which carry salmonella, that's actually higher on the list. And they say is food being stored and prepared properly, that's higher on the list. Right. Sponges that you use in the sink and then leave them sit there, that's higher on the list.
Yeah, those are nasty.
I've got all of that information in the show notes, by the way. Scientists have discovered why flies are so hard to swat. Have you ever tried to swat a fly and it's just like
I know, they're gone. They are out of the way.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, I don't know why anybody spent time on this, but experts in California at the Institute of Technology, with nothing better to do, they say a fly's brain plans the best way within 1/100th of a millisecond of spotting you. So when you roll up that newspaper and try to swat the fly, he thought way, way, way quicker.
Yeah, they're pretty impressive.
It is best not to swat the flies start in their starting position, but rather to aim a little forward of where he's going to go, because then you can anticipate.
Right.
So if you see his head is this way, if you swat right in front of him, your chances go way up.
Okay.
So,
good to know.
I've been holding that gem for a month. And one other really long story. It may come as news to new parents, but a study found that mothers do get enough sleep in their baby's few first months. It's just not good quality sleep. So researchers followed a group of new mothers. They found on average women got over 7 hours of sleep during the first 4 months, but it wasn't really good sleep.
And it wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
It's like a cat nap here and
They were frequently disrupted. The women typically were being woken up a total of 2 hours each night, so they would, keep waking up. Anyway, they're saying that that's not good because you do want to make sure you get more sleep, because if you don't, it contributes to postpartum depression and impacts work performance.
Right.
So, and then one last study here. According to a latest survey, 42% of smartphone users check it more than 50 times a day. I'm going to have to start paying attention. I know that you. We both do. Yeah, for sure. And the share of Americans that do not own smartphones is now 82%, up from just 33% 10 years ago. So 33%.
So a lot of people are getting rid of their phones?
No, that's the share of Americans who do own.
Oh, I thought you said who do not.
I'm sorry. If I did, I was wrong. The share of Americans who own a smartphone is 82%.
Yeah, that's
10 years ago, 33%.
Well, of course.
And 52% of American homes no longer have a landline. Now you know.
Yep.
Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. It's time right now for a comedy call. We've got a very funny man on the line right now. We have JoeList, and he's got a new comedy special. It's called I Hate Myself. Joe, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. No complaint. I have tons of complaints, actually, but none that I'll pick up the airwaves with.
I think that's kind of a funny name for a special. I hate myself. That's an attention getter, if nothing else, right?
Yeah, I think so. People always feel concerned after they say the title of the special. They're always like, "Are you okay?"
Should we send some help?
Yeah. But we all hate ourselves to some degree, I think, right?
Probably. I think deep down there's always a little something there. Now, you're a very, very funny guy. I had a chance to watch this special. I got a little sneak preview, and it is hilarious. So for people who need a chance to laugh right now, we can all laugh at you, right?
Yeah, please. Laugh with me, I guess.
There you go. That's what I meant. But a lot of your humor is kind of self-deprecating humor, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you write about what you know, and I know that I am an idiot, so there's definitely a lot of that in there, for sure. It's hard not to write about yourself.
As I was watching this special, there were so many things that I could relate to. So I think that's one of the things that, probably everybody, when they watch this, are going to find something that they can relate to. I love when you were talking about being on the airplane, with the person right next to you. And again, anybody that's ever traveled can absolutely put themselves right in that chair with you.
Yeah, so I used to fly every single week, and without fail, there's somebody that's driving you crazy. And we never ever feel like we're the ones driving anyone else crazy. And that's because I remember sitting there, and the guy next to me was like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "I mind my own business on airplanes. That's what I do." We don't need to have a conversation just because first of all, you're sitting too close together to have a conversation. The guy's trying to make eye contact, and we're about to kiss. It's just too close for comfort. So I'm a big stare ahead and don't talk to each other kind of guy.
And you're just a little fella.
I'm tougher than I look. I've been taking mixed martial arts. So
oh, wow.
I don't want to get too nervous, get any ideas about me. But yeah, I've been taking martial arts. I thought I was going to learn self-defense. I learned that I'm attracted to men. But, still a good skill. Still a good thing to know,
Now, you're married as well. And is your wife also a comic?
Yeah, she's a comedian as well, yes.
Do you guys get to do shows together quite often where, you're opening for her or she's opening for you?
Yeah, quite a bit. We just did a show where she was headlining, and I just came for the ride because I had nothing to do, and did some spots in the show, and then she'll open for me a lot when back in our normal lives. And it's pretty great. It's a great way to do it because, the road is tough because you miss your wife, you miss your home, and all that stuff. When you have your wife with you, you don't miss her at all. Quite the opposite.
My wife and I work together. Say no more. I understand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same. So, but no, it's great. I love it. I love her. Obviously, I love her.
I just think that would be an interesting dynamic for the two of you both to be comics. And is there a competitive nature between the two of you at all, or is that not even a thing?
I think probably a little bit. Yeah. We're definitely working together. We try to help each other. We're rooting for each other. But I suppose there is on a subconscious level, I guess. So
what's next for Joe? Do you have another special in mind? Or first of all, what are you doing right now with the pandemic? Are you out doing shows at all, or is that kind of on hold?
I've done a few outdoor shows. I'm still avoiding the indoor shows for now. I'm hoping, there's a vaccine. I would take it immediately and go right back to work. But trying to stay on the outdoor shows for now, which are a little tricky. They're not the best, but I have a couple podcasts that I do. One's called Tuesdays with Stories. That's a comedy podcast. And then I have a podcast called Mindful Metal Jacket. That's more about mental health, where I interview comedians about their neurosis. And so I'm doing those, and then just doing whatever outdoor shows and online shows that I can do. And other than that, I'm doing a lot of movie watching and reading. And just kind of waiting this thing out.
And I suppose that probably helps when you're, working on material for your next special. You've got to find that somewhere, don't you?
Yeah. So, and I have a good amount of material that wasn't on special because I was touring so much before. So I got a good 35 or 40 so minutes of material that's not on the special. So as soon as the pandemic is, manageable, I'm ready to go back on the road and go back to doing clubs every weekend, and I miss it for sure.
Well, if you make it to our neighborhood, we're definitely going to get out and see you. Joe, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Yeah, thank you, John. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure.
Again, our guest today has been JoeList. His new special is called JoeList. I Hate Myself. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A chef's hat. You know what a chef's hat looks
I
like,
do.
right? I did not know this. A chef's hat, if it's truly a chef's hat, it has exactly 100 pleats.
Oh.
So all the way around there, if you count them all up, 100. If it's a true chef's hat. If it doesn't have 100 pleats, it's an imposter.
Okay.
And you should take it off the chef's head, throw it on the ground, and stomp on it. Probably
I
not.
wouldn't
Don't
recommend that.
Don't do any of
They
that.
have knives.
Oh, yeah, that's true. No, don't do any of that. Not even just because they have knives, because it would be a bad thing. But I didn't know that. Did you know that there was a special number of pleats in a chef's hat?
I honestly can say I did not know,
you do.
and I really didn't need to know.
Oh, but you do, because it is today's fun fact. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate, and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world as we spin the globe. We'll stop here. Dateline, China. A small airport in China was forced to close for 10 hours after thieves stole 2/3 of their runway lights. Yeah. Airport maintenance crews were stunned to find over 60 landing lights were missing from the runway after pilots complained. So I don't know if they were all stolen at once or if this happened over the course of time, but they were forced to close for 10 hours. So they're like, hey, we can't land. We have no
they were
lights.
all stolen at once.
I remember reading a story about a guy that was arrested for stealing runway lights because he was turning them into beer mugs.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and I guess there was quite a market for that. So you'd steal this thing and you'd put a handle on it somehow and then you'd sell them as beer mugs. So, bad idea. I don't know if that's what they were doing in China too. I have no idea. This is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Lane Rodrigue was playing golf with friends at the Idlewild Golf Course in Patterson, Louisiana Monday when a monster alligator walked right onto the course and snatched up his ball.
Oh,
Wow.
jeez.
Lane's friends were shocked and jokingly debated, play it where it lies. But ultimately decided, okay, we're going to let the gator keep that one as a souvenir. Nobody was hurt. The gator is fine. And he had to drop a new ball. And I wonder did they make him take a penalty? I don't know how that works.
No, not if he dropped it right where it was at.
I don't know how that works, though. If you look in the official rules, do they mention what happens if an alligator steals your ball?
Well, no, because he didn't take a stroke. So, I mean, he put a new ball right where the ball was sitting. So.
Heidi you took a couple of golf lessons. How many?
I did. I took it for half a summer, actually. The golf pro.
Neither one of us are golfers.
No.
My cousin was trying to teach me to golf, and somehow he was behind me, like, here's how I do it, and I swung the club back and hit him in the head.
Oh, well, it was way too close
That
then,
was my
obviously.
last. Well, he was right behind me. He was trying to show me how to do this, and I swung the thing. Anyway, I had one lesson, and that's it. So there you go. This is Weird News brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Authorities in Florida say a guy by the name of Casey William Kelly purchased a Porsche 911 Turbo from a dealership in Destin, Florida for about almost $140,000. And I say purchased loosely because, well, he gave them a $139,203.05 cashier's check. He presented that and then took off And then the check bounced. It wasn't real. It says the check had not actually come from a bank. It was simply printed at his home computer. Before he was nabbed, he made one other stop to a jewelry store where he ponied up another phony check for $61,521.
Whoa!
3 beautiful Rolex watches. He now faces charges of grand theft for a motor vehicle and uttering a false banknote.
Oh,
so I don't know what that means.
Gosh.
So, yeah, if you're going to do it, I suppose.
I suppose he was doing it upright.
No,
but
don't do it. He got caught and you will too. It's a bad idea. It's why it's today's moment of duh. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for Fake News or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, fake news or Florida. A dog accidentally put a car in drive and crashed it into a Daytona liquor store after his owner left him in a running vehicle. Fake news or Florida?
I'm going to say Florida.
It's fake news.
Ah.
I got to say, by the way, thank you to the folks that have been
I
giving
could
me.
see that happening pretty easily.
I've got some people helping me out now that they think they figured out how to trick you.
They're doing pretty well.
They are. So I don't know.
But I will say, I've been to a liquor store or two.
And you've left a dog in a
and
running
I've
vehicle?
seen dogs
I have too.
sitting in the driver's seat of other people's vehicles.
Well, there you go. All right, this has been Fake News or Florida on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com, and I think this is a cool story. I love stories like this. Here's the headline. Kroger manager hires a homeless woman who was sleeping in the store's parking lot. So a manager at a Kroger grocery store in Nashville hired a woman who had been sleeping there for almost a year. LaShenda Williams told the USA Today that she had been battling drug addiction and had been spending the nights in her car at this Nashville Kroger store after driving around at different locations during the day. She said, I would lean my seat all the way back so nobody would see me because, I knew I wasn't supposed to be there. And at the end of the year, Jackie Vandal, a hiring manager, noticed this young lady in her vehicle and encouraged her to attend an upcoming job fair. With some help from Vandal, Williams spent a few hours filling out an application, and that is when Vandal, maybe V-A-N-D-A-L. I don't know if it's Vandal. I don't know how you say it. That's when she saw a message indicating that she had successfully applied, and she hired her on the spot. So she's been homeless for a while, and she's been staying here for a while. She says in here, I've been here actually this month on the 10th. It will be 10 months that she's been staying in her car in this parking lot.
Wow.
So she says, I love it. It's great. I get excited every day to come in, and I can't wait to see the workers who I work with, and I cannot wait to see the customers. So her positive attitude has been a blessing to the staff as well. Everybody there is so excited. One says, she's a fantastic worker. I wish I had 120 more of her.
Right.
How cool is that?
That's great.
And she said, I was sleeping in the parking lot and looking for something to eat. Now all of my babies here love on me. No one abuses me and nobody calls me dumb and stupid. For the first time in my life, I finally got peace.
That's heartbreaking.
It is. I don't know what all she's been through, but it sounds like she's not had a good life. So I'm so excited that she finally has something pretty awesome
that she can
here.
look forward to.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is really, really awesome. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all the details. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.